Doratia, tell me all about how you discovered eurythmy.
Well, I've known it all my life because I was brought up in a Waldorf school, and I always loved doing it. I always loved doing it because it made sense. I used to do old-time dancing and things like that, but eurythmy made sense. You didn't just move like this because you felt like it, but there was a reason for doing it, and I think that's been guiding a lot. And then I went to Switzerland actually just to bring music and anthroposophy together. And to make it very simple, then eurythmy seemed to be the answer. So I went to eurythmy school, and then the doors just opened along the way. I mean, I didn't search, where should I go, what should I do? But I was in this setting, and there were 2 eurythmy groups in the Goetheanum at that time. And I was with this one group and playing the piano for them. And so it's natural that and then the leader of that group, Marius Savic, said, well, when you graduate, you join the group. So I joined the group, and I started teaching in the school. And I thought that's where I would end up. But then there were things here, and they were very keen to have somebody to take over the eurythmy school coming from Dornach.
And this was in 1980.
1980. And there were not very many people in that setting who spoke English and had experience in teaching in the eurythmy school. And in our group, there were only 3, and the other 2 couldn't. I was not the first choice. The other 2 couldn't, so I came here. I felt I'm being sent to Siberia, of course, going away because you know the Goethe. You know,
sure.
Yeah, I mean, so that is absolutely the center. And there was a eurythmy performance every Sunday. 2 groups, so every other Sunday there was a eurythmy performance, and then big productions of Faust, which is almost as much acting as there is eurythmy. So I came from a very rich life, and then coming out
you're a pioneer. You came to the wilderness.
Absolute pioneer, but it was obviously the right place. And well, I'd said that if I need to go back to Europe in order, in a sense, to charge my batteries, if I don't find a regeneration in the work here, I can't stay. So I agreed to come for a year, and then noticed that the work itself was regenerating. And since then, life has just seemed to say, yes, this is your place.
I hear you're a leader in the tone eurythmy world.
Well, you could say so, but
How did you decide tone eurythmy instead of speech?
I again also didn't decide because other people didn't feel comfortable with it, and so I was given one task after the other. Always, while I was in Dornach. I mean, although one was in all the different activities, but I was sort of singled out to do English eurythmy with poems. If there's an English conference, then I would do a solo or something of that nature. And so I concentrated more on that. And with the teaching in tone eurythmy, many people feel insecure musically. And not that I knew very much. Beth said that I was in a music school, but I was a very part-time student. And that doesn't mean I learned a bit about harmony, a bit of music theory, and had a couple of piano lessons. But I wouldn't say I've been through a music training, which the director of this group, Marius Savic, she said, that's a plus, because if you know too much, then you aren't so open to it. So
almost a form of indoctrination knowledge can be.
Well, if you know so much, well, then isn't it this and being more naive? You just take it. And I think you're more open to that which is different in tone eurythmy than in music. Knowing too much about the music theory and everything can block you a little bit.
Engineers have that problem. They can't become builders because they know too much about structure, and they don't make good contractors because they're not able to move away from the theoretical. So that's probably.
And I had very, very good teachers, but one of them who was an excellent teacher, but she never explained what we were doing. And so when I started teaching, I was very keen that the students knew why we do this, why we do that. And so as I say, I taught in the school there, and I was always given, oh, will you teach that sort of thing. And either you get fed up with doing something or you really love doing it. George Washington Carver, I just recently heard the quote, if you love something, everything will reveal its secrets if you love it enough.
Oh.
And that is what I have really learned. If you really stick with a subject so long, after a while, it reveals things that
you never discover.
You would never discover otherwise. And it's
so love actually.
It opens
the door.
It opens the door.
Knowledge.
And I can only say, I make discoveries. I've been doing eurythmy now 60 years, and I mean professionally. I've been as a child. That's not including the child what I did as a child. As an adult, I've done it for over 60 years, and almost every day I'm experiencing something that I hadn't noticed before, and it gets thrilling. In the realm of music, so many people they have an inferiority complex type of thing. Oh, I don't understand that, and so you have to move that away, you could say, so that people, because basically, the basic of music, everybody is musical. But because they think, I need to know this, they deafen themselves. And you have to sort of
deprogram them.
Bring that down. So, but what do you experience? And if you come, this is what I experience, fine. And that is what it is. I don't know how much you work with music, but you could also do that in speech in the same way. If you're quiet enough, and just listen, the thing itself will tell you.
It talks to you.
If you love it enough.
It talks to you.
And shows what it is. Spring Valley, I mean, what we call it Spring Valley, this threefold thing shares something with the Goetheanum, with the Dornach, in that anthroposophy is the center. Other anthroposophical centers, it's the school, it's a clinic, it's something like this. And here it's entirely anthroposophy, and that makes me feel very at home.
So you feel at home here?
Oh yes. I'm not American in any way, but I appreciate very much being here, and learned a lot, learned a great deal. And I say I appreciate it, but I know I'm very European when I'm here. What can eurythmy sort of bring? And you know Gobbo's, Lancelot Gobbo from Merchant of Venice?
Yes.
Do you know? Because should he run away from the Jew or should he stay with them? Yeah? And that's a big struggle between his conscience, tells him to stay here, and the fiend says, why don't you run away? And so you have this, and Shakespeare, in a wonderful way, whenever it's the conscience speaking, it's conscience, and I have to do this, and it's very matter of fact, and all the words, all the pictures are, I've got to do this, etc. And with the fiend, it's all enticing, and out of the sound F So there you see how Shakespeare really brought what he wanted to bring into the very sounds, the very pictures that he's doing. And that is something that eurythmy can make visible.
Thank you so much.